All right, hello. Welcome everyone. I'm Stacy and I will be your webinar host for today. We'll get started in just a minute or two. I'm just letting people get logged in, get settled. So thank you so much for being here on time. I'm excited to share today's webinar, the 7 secrets every business must know to legally steal floods of free Google traffic from your competition. So while everyone's kind of coming on in, go ahead and right below this webinar, you will see a comment box. So go ahead and check in with me. Let me know where you're watching from and what your small business is. Go ahead and give a link to your webpage down there. So let's give everybody a second to kind of check in and then we will get started. All right, let's go ahead and get rolling. Welcome, everyone. I'm so excited to have you here for today's training. So a little bit of housekeeping before we get started. So be sure to grab a pen and paper before we get started because there will not be a replay available of this training. So make sure you're taking notes and that you've put your distractions aside. So put away Facebook and Twitter, put your cell phone away. I promise it's going to be a short training. So I know we all go through withdrawals, but I think you can make it. So if you have any questions, you can add them to the chat box below. As we go, there will be time after the training where I'll answer all your questions, and then if they fit into where we're at, I'll try to answer some of them as we go as well. All right, so welcome everyone. If you haven't already, go ahead and share your name and where you're watching from and your business. You can go ahead and give a shout out for your business and the link to your website in the comments below. So welcome. I am Stacy Kareem and I am the founder and thinker-in-chief at Modern 87 Marketing. And today I've got the great pleasure to be talking to you about search engine optimization. So specifically how your business can leverage SEO to drive interested buyers right to your website. So we've got a lot of great content to cover today. So let's just get right to it. And remember, I'll be happy to take your questions at the end of the presentation. And then as they pertain to where we are in the training, I'll try to answer them as we go. All right, so let's just jump right in. So first of all, you're absolutely in the right place right now if you're a small business owner who wants to get more visitors to your website. So maybe you've had your website up for a while and nobody's visiting. You're constantly checking the statistics to see how many new visitors you have, and it only updates because you're the only one checking your website, right? So if that's you, you're absolutely in the right place. You're also in the right place if your website is stuck on page 2 or worse of Google and you want actionable strategies to rank higher so that more people can find you when they search. And you're also in the right place if you keep writing blog post after blog post after blog post because somebody told you that that was a great way to get visitors to your website. And you're hoping to hit the #1 search spot, but your site isn't moving up the rankings. You're still stuck where you started and you're starting to feel like maybe this is all just a waste of time and energy. And you're definitely in the right place if you absolutely positively know that you have a better product or service than your competitors, but your ideal customers can't find you online because your site isn't on page 1, but your competitors is. So go ahead, raise your hand if you know that you can deliver better quality and better service than your competitor, but the people that you want to serve just can't find you. Right? We've all been there. So first of all, what is SEO? Right? Let's get on the same page here and make sure we're all using the same definition. So here's one that I use. So search engine optimization, known as SEO, is the process of improving the visibility of a website or a web page in search engines via unpaid, so natural or organic search results. So to kind of simplify that even more, search engine optimization is getting your website found by the Google gods, right? Getting on the top pages of Google so that when your potential customers are searching for you, they can find you. Now, a lot of people don't know exactly what I mean when I say natural or organic search results. So let me show you this screenshot to show you what I mean here. So here's a search engine results page. Now I'm going to get a little techie on you here. That's also known as a SERP. I won't be using all the crazy lingo, but that's what it's called. So if you ever see that, it just means a search engine results page. And you can see by the arrows that I've drawn up here that the paid or sponsored listings are at the top and the right sidebar, and that the organic results are to the lower left. So it's important to understand this difference because the sponsored results have been paid for by someone so that they show up first, but they cost money to show up on the top rankings. Whereas the organic results are the results that Google believes are the best match for the search term that you typed into Google. Nobody can pay to be there. Not even Apple, right? And that's what this search is for. Not even Apple can pay to be the #1 organic ranking, even though they're the #1 paid ranking as well, but they did not pay to get into that organic spot. So these organic results are what we're trying to impact with search engine optimization, or SEO. We're basically trying to get your site to rank highly for the specific keywords that you're targeting. So now, one of the other great things about SEO is that it's not all about interrupting your audience. So as a rule, people prefer not to be interrupted. Crazy, right? So if you're walking down the street, you prefer to not have a giant man in a panda suit jump out and go, "Hey, what's up?" Right? We don't want that because that scares us and that catches us a little bit off guard. So SEO is a permission-based type of marketing because it's all about connecting with people who are already actively engaged in a search for your products and service. Right? They're already Googling what they want, and it's your job to show up when they want you. So SEO is known to insiders in the industry as a form of inbound marketing. That's a strategy that focuses on getting found by potential customers, as opposed to simply broadcasting a message that finds prospects. So the difference here is inbound marketing is people coming to you. So let's say you have a storefront on Main Street, and the people that are just walking by would be your inbound traffic. They're already walking by, they're already shopping around, and they come into your store. As opposed to outbound marketing, which is you placing an ad in the local newspaper to get people to come into your store. They didn't come there necessarily of their own free will. You encouraged them with that ad. Okay, so see that quick difference there? So it's generally believed that inbound traffic establishes a much more valuable relationship than paid advertising does, because people are skeptical about advertisements nowadays. They feel like they're going to get duped most of the time. But with organic results, people believe that they have more credibility. So SEO, more than other forms of internet or digital marketing, is, shrouded in this mystery and more than a few misconceptions. People are like, I kind of know what it is, but I'm not really sure what it is. And among the more persistent myths are these. So the first one is that SEO is free. And this is a really frustrating myth for business owners just like you, because SEO is extraordinarily cost effective. And once you have a well-placed website, you receive lots of unpaid traffic. But optimizing a website isn't free. It requires time, expertise, and labor. And last time I checked, these things cost money, right? Most small business owners like yourself estimate their time to be worth about $247 an hour. So if you're spending hours every week optimizing your website, that's money spent in terms of your time, right? So the second SEO trick is pretty easy to disprove here. SEO is one of the more measurable marketing methods available to small businesses, period. And the data shows that SEO is a remarkably effective and efficient way to promote your business. So another myth is that SEO is modern day black magic or modern day voodoo, but it's not. As a matter of fact, SEO is probably the most quantitative left brain marketing methods around. So I actually think this is pretty funny because I'm equally left brain and right brain. I'm just as creative as I am analytical and logical. So I love the fact that SEO has a strategy. You know exactly what you need to do to get ranked in the search engine. So it's definitely not something that, you're just trying to, put all this black magic out there and have it happen. There's definitely a system to it. And I'm going to share with you 7 of those strategies that you can use on today's webinar. But alternatively, so people think it's black magic, woo-woo, some kind of, magical digital strategy. And alternatively, there's also a misconception that SEO is like rocket science and there's no hope for you to learn it and apply it to your business. So I'll admit SEO can get pretty wonky, but some of the most effective things you can do to optimize for search engine visibility are also the most simple and straightforward. So lastly, some will say that SEO is either unethical or downright illegal. And as far as I know, there are no laws on the books that address search engine optimization, at least not yet. But that said, the major search engines like Google and Yahoo and Bing, and even YouTube, YouTube's one of the largest search engines. So they have their own internal police forces that seek to maintain the integrity of their results and deliver great, accurate information for their users. So ethical SEO is not at all at odds with the search engines. So yes, there are unscrupulous ways to manipulate search results through deception, and this is called black hat SEO. But we're not going to talk about that because we don't do that. We don't encourage that. And in fact, it doesn't really work because Google will slap you down and you'll get the Google gods will give you the almighty Google slap, and your website will go from page 1 to page nothing, right? They'll even take your website down. So we're not going to talk about black hat strategies today because we don't use them, don't encourage them. So we're only going to talk about white hat SEO that's honest, tactics and strategies that are endorsed by the major search engines themselves. They say this is what you need to do to rank higher on our search engine. So the reality is that SEO is a form of digital marketing that most major companies use, and they do so with Google, Microsoft, and Yahoo's blessing. So it's Google, Bing, and Yahoo search. So here's a slide that a lot of SEO consultants fail to address head on, because for them, the value of SEO is self-evident. So I know that SEO is super important to your website, to my website. It's one of the main focuses that I have when building out the website for my digital agency. But you might not know why it's so important. So I'm going to answer the all-important question: who cares, right? Who cares about this SEO stuff? So now if you've registered for this webinar, the chances are pretty good that you have some idea of why SEO is important. But maybe you're still a little bit skeptical and need some convincing about why SEO is important. So these quick stats should help. So as you can see, everyone and their mother is online, over 2 billion people online. And most people start each web browsing session with a search engine, either Google, Bing, or Yahoo. So I even have as my homepage Google. It starts with a Google search, and that's true on my phone and on my desktop. So my entire internet experience starts with Google, right? And I'm sure that yours is very similar. So diving a little deeper into this who cares question, 77% of searchers choose organic over paid listing. So they will scroll past the paid listings and go to that top organic result. And 67% choose organic search results when purchasing. Now, this is huge because remember we talked about earlier how people trust inbound marketing more than they trust advertising. And 67% are going to choose the organic results versus the ones that people have paid for, which is why organic click-throughs generate a 25% higher sales conversion than pay-per-click ads. And that's also true because people are already searching for what it is that you're offering. And if you can come up first in the search results, they're going to know that you're probably the product that they are looking for. So if you can get your website to show up in the top of the organic results, you're essentially going to be getting more free traffic and more free paying customers, right? So more buyers will see your website and become customers. So I want you to find out right now how your website ranks. So let's do a quick SEO result or report right now. So go to modern87marketing.com/SEO-step-2. And what you're going to do is you're going to put in your website. So your website's URL. So like mine is modern87marketing.com. And then you're going to choose a keyword that you want to rank for. Now we're going to be talking a lot more about keywords in just a minute, but I want you to choose the keyword that you would like to be ranked number 1 on Google for. And then you're going to just enter your name and your email and then hit the button. Give it about 90 seconds and your report will come up. So this is important. You want a score that's at least above 90. So let's see how your website ranks. So go to modern87marketing.com/SEO-step-2. All right, so while you're letting that report run, I'm just going to share a little bit about who I am and what right do I have to teach you about SEO and digital marketing. So my name is Stacy and I'm the founder and thinker-in-chief at Modern 87 Marketing. We are the go-to digital marketing agency for small businesses just like yours. So we help busy business owners finish all of their online marketing tasks. That includes social media, SEO strategies, email marketing, blogging, all of the stuff that you're spending about 16 hours or more each week doing. We help you finish all of those online marketing tasks in 7 minutes or less each week. Yes, really, we do. And I personally have over 7.5 years of digital marketing experience. So when Facebook was first starting to become a platform for businesses to get customers, generate sales, connect with their audience, grow their visibility, increase their authority, I was there helping a local magazine do just that. And same with Twitter. When Twitter was first coming out, I was one of the first people on Twitter, and I used it to help this magazine connect with their audience. And digital marketing is absolutely my passion. It is what I love. And it's because I've talked with so many business owners just like you who have an incredible product or an amazing service, and they're absolutely incredible at what they do. But when we have conversations about how they're generating customers or how they're getting consistent sales, their eyes kind of gloss over and they're like, I just kind of rely on walk-in traffic or referrals. And when it comes to growing and scaling your business, you just can't do that. And so I started talking with business owners. I actually was just having a conversation just yesterday with somebody about SEO, and she didn't even know what keywords to try to rank for on Google, and she had no idea what actually mattered when it came to getting visibility on the search engines. And I remember the very first time I ranked #1 on Google for a website, and it was a long time ago, and it was for a review of this website where I was an affiliate, and I wanted to be on the top of the search results so more people would use my link. And within 3 days of posting a blog post, I was ranked first for that keyword. And 3 years later, after not doing anything to the website or that blog post, I was still in the top page for that keyword. And I wanted to help other businesses be able to figure out this whole online marketing thing, and not just figure it out, but be able to have the professionals do it for them, because this stuff can be kind of confusing, right? So that's exactly what I do, and my team at Modern 87 Marketing does, is we help business owners just like you get out of the fog of what the heck am I even doing to creating a clear, consistent strategy for online growth. And I've helped business owners bring in an additional $9,000 in just a few short weeks from one Facebook ad. Just a few weeks ago, with 3 emails, one of my clients made an additional 32 sales just with email, right? So I know that these strategies work, and I know that SEO is going to help you start attracting more people to your website. And it is an important part of your comprehensive online marketing strategy. Okay, so by now you should have your report and you know all about who I am and who Modern 87 Marketing is. So let's just keep on going. So keep your report handy. We're going to use it because at the bottom there's a checklist of all the activities that you need to do to fix your score. So if you're not quite at 90 or above, you're absolutely in the right place. We're going to go over some of those strategies to help you rank a little bit higher. All right, so you can see where I'm going with this. So as I said, I love digital marketing, and it's because I know it's extremely valuable. And one of the things that's extremely valuable to your business is a high ranking on the search engines, Google, Bing, Yahoo, YouTube, right? So how valuable are they? You might be thinking, okay, I get it. I need to rank higher in the search engines, but what is it actually going to do? I'm a pretty visual person. I want tangible examples. So let's take a look at how valuable it is. So let's choose a phrase here. Let's pick auto insurance because I've been doing some quotes for my auto insurance. I'm getting ready to come up for renewal. So I've got auto insurance on the brain. So let's pretend that you are an auto insurance agency or broker. Try and get ranked in Google so that you can find some customers. So this is an extremely competitive term, and it's really a very broad national term, right? So if you're a local auto insurance broker in Albuquerque, this is probably not what you would want to rank for, but it's a really good example of the value of organic ranking. So now let's look at the number of searches that are done every single month and how much it would, the cost per click is. So if you were to bid on this keyword, how much would it cost for you to bid? Okay, so this information is coming right out of Google's advertising tools. It's available to everyone. You can use it to find out yourself. So there are over 100,000 searches each month for this term. And Google places the approximate cost per click at about $63.31, which means that you would likely have to pay at least that much per click if you wanted to advertise for this term. So that's a lot of money. And as I said, this is a very competitive term with very cash-rich companies building up the cost. We're going to look at who some of those companies are in a second. So let's do some simple math, and you can see the value of the term auto insurance. So you take the number of searches, multiply it by the cost per click, and you get almost $7 million. So that's $6,964,100. Right? That's the monthly value of this traffic. Okay, so here's a pie chart that shows the percentage of traffic based on a website's position or rank in the search results. And this is really important because notice how big of a difference there is between the number 1 position and the number 2 position. Okay, so you can see that the top 3 results get virtually all of the action, about 2/3 of the traffic. But position 1 gets 42%. That's almost 4 times more than the second position. So it's really good to be number 1. All right, so let's say you have the number 1 spot in the search results for the keyword auto insurance. Actually, who do you think has that number 1 spot in the search results? Anyone want to give a guess in the comments? I'll tell you in just a second. But if you do the math based on the search volume and cost per click, you'll be getting nearly $3 million worth of search engine traffic every single month. And you aren't paying for any of those clicks. So this is why SEO is so valuable and so important for your business. So let's actually take a look at the real numbers here. Who is number 1? Well, it's progressive.com/auto. So you can actually do this search. I just did this 5 minutes ago. So I know that these are up-to-date numbers. So if you do a quick search for auto insurance, you'll see that progressive.com/auto comes up. And with the current numbers, they're getting over $40 million worth of free traffic every month just because they're number 1. Now, number 2, remember how we said the number 1 ranked website is going to get 42% of the traffic. So look at that big drop between the number 1 and number 2 position. Right? That's a ton of free traffic lost just by being number 2. And then what happens when you drop all the way to the bottom of the second page of Google? You go from almost $40 million of traffic to 1.3. So that's why being ranked highly is so important. Now let's look at a keyword that's not so competitive, right? That doesn't have multi-billion-dollar corporations funding its efforts. So let's take a look at wedding photographers. I know that there were several photographers who were registered for this webinar. So I went ahead and did a quick search for wedding photography Los Angeles. So the number one ranked result for that phrase gets $22,000, almost $23,000 of free traffic every single month. The number 3 position gets half of that at $10,000, not even half of that, right? At $10,000 a month. Now, if we go down to the bottom of page 2, we're looking at about $7,500 of free traffic. And if you're stuck at the bottom of page 5, it's 0, right? So this is why being ranked highly locally is also really important, because for a lot of us, we have local businesses. We only serve the city that we're in. So look at all of this free traffic that you're possibly missing out on just because you're not on the first or second search result of Google. All right, so let's just quickly summarize the benefits of SEO. So you can boost your website traffic, you increase your visibility among your buyers, you build relationships and influence people, you increase your sales, you can measure your progress, and with SEO, you can compete against the big guys with deep pockets because nobody can pay Google to knock you out of their position. Right? Nobody can pay Google to say, hey, I want to be number 1 organic result. Nobody. So if you have a killer SEO strategy, you can compete for that, wedding photography Los Angeles spot, and it doesn't matter how much money the person in number 1 has. Okay, if you just need a really good strategy. So at the same time, while there are some undeniable benefits of search engine optimization, there are some downsides too, and anyone who tells you otherwise isn't setting the right expectation. Now, the downsides are that SEO can be pretty time consuming. It can take months and months to make significant improvement depending on how competitive your market is. So let's say you did by some chance want to go after, auto insurance as your keyword. You're not going to just beat out Progressive in 1 month. It's going to take time to start rising through the rankings. And, so you have to have that patience. But at the same time, you can use paid advertising. So pay-per-click ads, which are we looked at those earlier, or even social advertising on Facebook or Twitter, LinkedIn, depending on where your audience is, to get traffic to your website while you rise in the rankings. So you don't have to just sit back and be a lame duck while you work on getting up the rankings. You can be more proactive with advertising. So SEO can be hard because you don't control all the variables. So the reality is that why Google or any other search engine ranks one site over another isn't 100% known. And as you can imagine, if you knew exactly how they are ranking sites, people would be manipulating the results like crazy, and the search engines would lose credibility. So there's actually it's estimated that Google does some 200 and some algorithm updates every year, and we don't always know what they're changing. We know what some of the bigger changes are, if you've heard of something called Panda or Penguin, or their latest one is Phantom. We kind of know what they're changing with those big updates, but nobody really knows exactly how their algorithm works. So while there's strategies, you can't necessarily manipulate it. But you can have a comprehensive digital marketing plan to consistently drive traffic and make sales online. So you can use other digital marketing avenues like social media and email marketing and things like that, and as well as paid advertising to consistently drive traffic and sales. So you're not at 100% the mercy of the Google gods while you're trying to work within their algorithm. And it's not a one-time affair. So you're not just going to one time go into your website and update some keywords and poof, you're on page 1 of Google. It's an ongoing process that requires dedicated effort over time. So it's a competitive, constantly changing environment where you can't afford to just sit there and, let your website just do whatever it wants, right? So at this point, you understand the value of SEO. So let's get into the nitty-gritty of how SEO can deliver for your business. So here are 7 secrets your business absolutely needs to know to steal free traffic from your competitors. So the first step is it all starts with keyword research. So keyword research is the foundation of search engine optimization. Keywords are the words and phrases that your buyers are using when they search for the products and services you sell them. You absolutely must know and optimize for these terms. And keyword research is all about getting into the brain of the user. I'm going to say that again. It's all about getting into the brain of the user and presenting them with content that reflects their needs, pain points, and wants. So think like your potential customers. So there are some important things to keep in mind when starting an SEO strategy. So you first have to know your keywords. You need to go through and do some research to find out what words your potential customers and your customers are using, which may be completely different than the words that you use, right? So think like your customer, how you talk about your business internally, how you would describe your products or how you would describe your services might be very different than how a potential customer is actually searching for you. So you need to know where you want to compete. And you'll also want to choose your battles here because you can't possibly optimize for every single keyword. So trying to be everything to everyone doesn't work anywhere, and it most certainly doesn't work online. You need to prioritize 1, 2, or maybe 3 keywords and focus your efforts there. So going back to the wedding photographer Los Angeles example. So maybe the same photographer also does newborn photography. They do senior portraits. They might also do maternity shoots, right? So thinking about what they want to rank for first and going after that keyword is going to be more effective than trying to rank for basically photography, right? The term photography. So you want to really know what keyword you're going after. So number 2, content is absolutely key. So when I was talking to this business owner yesterday, and she first said, I have no idea what keywords I even need to rank for. I just kind of made up a list and said, I guess this is what I need to be ranking for. And when we actually did research on what keywords people were searching for, it was completely different than what she had began trying to rank for, and it made no sense for her to be spending all this time and effort on these other keywords when nobody was even searching for them in the first place. And secondly, she said, and I don't even know what to do with these keywords now that I have them. What actually do I need to create on my website in order to get ranked for these keywords? So content is king. That's the answer, right? So you need to keep your website fresh. And what do I mean by fresh? I mean, you need to get on a regular schedule of adding relevant content, images, articles, and video, right? This is where blogging comes into play. And here's why regular content is so important. It's because the more you update your site, the more Google's little spiders or bots will return to index your site. So you're going to get more visits from Google. And the more they index your site, the more likely it is that you'll move right on up in the rankings because the search engine will see you as a relevant producer of content for certain keywords. But a website that isn't updated regularly is, in Google's eyes, a dead website. So they're not going to keep coming back to your website and you're going to slowly slip down in the rankings. So like I said, so let's go back to that example of when I first ranked on the first page of Google for my product review. I haven't touched that website in probably about 7 years now. So there's absolutely no way that it's still in the top page of Google. I don't want it there anymore. But as you start to not update it regularly, you start to slip in the search results. So you want to keep things fresh, feed the spiders, and you will stay on Google's radar. And really what's important here is you don't want to overdo it with trying to stuff too many keywords into your content. Okay, you want to be natural about it. You want to naturally use relevant keywords. All right, number 3, you need to get social. It's critical that you have an active social media presence. So you ask any search engine marketing or search marketing expert, and we'll all tell you the same thing. The future of search is social. The lines between the two will continue to blur, all right? And if your search engine person isn't telling you that, all you have to do is look at what Google is doing with its Google Plus social network initiative, right? So in order to get listed on Google, businesses are now having to create a Google Plus page to share relevant content and updates. So now while Google Plus is starting to kind of roll out, they are still focusing on how social is your Facebook page? How social is your Twitter? How social are you on Pinterest? Because that's an indicator of, do people like the content on this site? Should we keep sharing it with people? So you'll want to make sure that you have sharing buttons on your website to promote people sharing your content on social media. So if you want to have the best shot at showing up high in organic results, you have to get engaged with the social media conversation that's happening online. So there's also way more reasons to do social media, but we're running out of time here, so I won't go over those. But just know that it helps benefit your search engine optimization efforts. So here's evidence of that blurring line between search and social. So this is a video produced by Google showing you how they're using social. Oh, sorry, no, that's. So this is basically showing you, how your results are indicative of your social presence. So the little face that you see with the green arrow is saying that this has to do with people you're following on social media, right? The chiku, the images, they're people that you know or images that you've shared. Right? So Google, this is the default setting for Google, is to show social results. So if you're getting social, if your company is getting social, you're getting higher rankings just by being more social. All right, so number 4 is you need to get links from other sites. So in Google's eyes, links are essentially a thumbs up for your website. It's a vote that, yes, this website is quality content. But unlike a true democracy, some votes matter more than others. So if you get a vote from a highly authoritative website, it's going to go a lot further than if your best friend's blog, who only gets 5 visitors a month, shares your content, right? So it does matter what kind of links you're getting. So you need to have a strategy to get as many quality links as you can, pointing back to your website. And before we move on, I just want to make this clear. Trading links with other websites no longer works. So the links basically cancel each other out. Google knows when link trading schemes are in place, and it does not help your search results. So that's no longer an effective strategy. All right. So number 5 is video. So get out and roll that camera. Video is a really great way to improve your rank for competitive keywords, because if you didn't know, YouTube is now owned by Google, and YouTube is actually the number 2 search engine in the world, right behind the main Google search engine. So Google dominates the number 1 and number 2 search engines, and YouTube is growing like crazy because people absolutely love video. And this is why Google will rank your videos higher and faster than other types of content. So now you don't need to be the next Steven Spielberg to create a quality video for your business. Just go ahead and roll the camera, use your computer's webcam, or even your smartphone if you don't have a camera, and show your expertise in your industry. Give tips or strategies, give some behind the scenes, what you're doing in your business, and then upload it to YouTube. Be sure when you're uploading a video to YouTube, give it some SEO juice. You want to add a descriptive and relevant description and title so that the search engines can find your video. The same SEO strategies for video or for website ranking apply for video. So number 6 is you want to leverage channels. Okay, so the majority of the website's traffic is now going to a very small number of sites. So these are the big brands that you know, like YouTube, like we just talked about, and Amazon. So these sites have already aggregated huge volumes of customers, which is why we call them channels. You can use these channels to reach your customers in a massive way. Right? These channels are great for SEO and for funneling people to your business's website. And they also bring about authority onto your website, thus boosting your rankings in the process. So all you have to do is get your content on them, and they will have a much better chance of ranking in the search engines than that same content would on your own website, because YouTube and Amazon websites have more authority over your site. So does that make sense? All right, so let me just go ahead and show you a real life example here. So this is a screenshot of someone leveraging Amazon's authority to improve their visibility. So as you can imagine, how to lose weight fast is a highly competitive term. But just look right down there at the bottom of the first page of Google search results, and you're going to see an Amazon listing for an ebook on this subject. So if you were to click to Amazon, you'd find that this is from an author that you've probably absolutely never heard of. But she has wisely chosen to get her content into Amazon so she can compete in SEO against some much more competitive brands like WebMD or even WikiHow, right? So she's right up there with those highly authoritative sites. So the same strategy works with other major channels like YouTube, Craigslist, and even sites like Pinterest. So I've seen lots of people really creatively use Pinterest to create just absolute authority for their website and get ranked way high for keywords that are really competitive. So keep in mind Pinterest for your SEO strategy. All right, so strategy number 7, if you're local, you need to optimize for local. So as I was reviewing some of the SEO reports that you guys have submitted, I noticed that sometimes some of you are using very generic keywords like photography, right? Or insurance agency. Now, if you're a local photographer, you don't want to rank for photography because your ideal customer isn't searching for photography. They're searching for a newborn photographer in New Hampshire. So instead of having these big, broad keywords that are extremely competitive and your customer isn't even searching for, think local, okay? If you're local, optimize for local. So as an example, right, of auto insurance, we're not beating out Progressive. I'm not even going to pretend we are, right? But if you want to become the top ranked auto insurance carrier in Albuquerque, you can use the local search term auto insurance Albuquerque. And people are actually searching for that. So when I first moved to Albuquerque, I needed car insurance here. And that's exactly what I was searching for, was how can I get auto insurance in Albuquerque? So think like your customer, particularly if you are local and a local business. All right, so here's a handful of strategies to really optimize locally. So you want to make sure to include local keywords in your site content, just with the example of wedding photographer Los Angeles. All right, so you want to make sure that that keyword is showing up on your website over and over and over again. All right, make sure your website has your city and state in multiple locations, both on the page and within your head tag. Okay, so you want to make sure you're putting I'm in Los Angeles, California, okay, so that the search engines know where you are. You also want to add your local address and local phone number to your website. So these are two of the best indicators of an actual local presence for the search engines and for your visitors. You also want to make sure that your business and website are listed in all of the major local directories. So Google has a directory, Yahoo, Bing, and all of the other ones as well. Okay, then you also want to bring in video. Okay, so shoot videos that show that you're local and use those local search terms in your descriptions of your videos when you post them. So if you are a wedding photographer in Los Angeles, you could do a video about the most scenic wedding locations in Los Angeles. And throughout the video, use the term wedding photographer Los Angeles, right? So I'm Sarah and I'm a local wedding photographer here in Los Angeles. And continue using that keyword throughout the video while you're giving great content to brides-to-be who are looking for the best place to get married in Los Angeles. So you're giving value while also rising through the rankings. It's pretty much a win-win here. So you want to also get links from local directories and organizations. So if you are a member of the Chamber of Commerce, they'll happily put your website link on their website. So think other local organizations where you can get links to your website. So these are all the little details that have a huge impact on your rankings. And if you are trying to rank locally, it's a lot easier than trying to rank for something big like auto insurance, okay? So here's a bonus secret that's very important and one of the most important things you can absolutely learn about SEO and marketing in general. You want to keep it real. You want to create content for people, not search engines. And ultimately, people buy your stuff, not Google, right? Google's not coming and saying, yeah, I need a wedding photographer in Los Angeles, right? Google is a search engine. They don't need a wedding photographer. So you want to keep content created for people. So that video example of the wedding photographer, that's something that people would be interested in, but ultimately Google's going to be interested in it too, and they're going to rank you higher. So it's a win-win by creating content for people. Okay, so if your website grows popular with real live people, Google is going to take notice. All right, so I have another bonus secret here for you. Just keep on going. All right, so be consistent over time because SEO is not a sprint. It is a marathon, and actually it's probably more like an ultra marathon, right? So be consistent and work at getting results for the long term. All right, so don't just think, oh, I didn't rank #1 in a week, it's not working. So keep going with your strategy. So before we move on to some questions, I wanted to show you some examples of sites that I think have done a really good job with their SEO strategies. So the first one is from Artie's Locksmith in New York City, which, as you can imagine, is probably an extremely valuable niche. All right, so you can see that Artie here has the #1 organic ranking in New York City. Good job for that, Artie, nice work. And you can see a few of the basic things that he does really well. So he's local, so he's going for a local keyword, locksmith NY, right? Locksmith, New York. So he has his local phone number. He's used the right keywords in his site. So Artie's Locksmith has provided emergency locksmith services and advanced security solutions in the New York, New Jersey area, right? So he's using his keywords. He writes content on his site that demonstrates that they are truly a local company that can help you fast. So he's written to people, but the search engines are taking notice. So it may be hard to read this, so go ahead and note to search locksmith in NYC, and you can see after this presentation what all he's done well for yourself. So the next example is one from Gem Plumbing. All right, so a company that grabbed the first listing for the search term Rhode Island plumbing is, also doing a really great job here. Again, they're practicing the fundamentals. They're using good keywords, they have their local phone number, and they have local content. All right, so here's a couple of really good examples for you to take a look at and for you to kind of see how you can use these strategies on your own site. Okay, so I'm going to attempt to answer some of the commonly asked questions when it comes to SEO. So make sure, let's keep your questions coming in the comment box down below as well, and I'll answer those as we go. Just gonna double check here. Awesome. All right, so first, okay, so with this first question, is SEO a good marketing strategy for my particular business? Okay, so maybe you're thinking, I'm not a photographer, I'm not selling insurance. Maybe you're something completely different and you're wondering, is SEO a good strategy for my business? Well, it's hard to know because I don't know you personally. I haven't chatted with you yet to understand the needs of your business, but it's worthwhile asking this question because SEO might not be a fit for every business, particularly ones in very competitive industries if you have a very small budget. So let's say you are trying to rank for lose weight fast on a national level. There's probably other ways for you to grow your business and get more customers that are going to be more affordable and faster than trying to rank for such a competitive keyword. All right, but if you think that search engine traffic is important for your business, then SEO is definitely important for your business. It's just that simple. So if you think that getting ranked high in Google is important, then it absolutely is important for your marketing strategy. And in just a few minutes, I'm going to offer you the opportunity to chat with me one-on-one about your SEO and online marketing strategy so I can answer this question for you specifically. So just stick with me and I'll give you more of that information, okay? So the next question is, how much time will I need to spend each week on SEO? All right, so this is a really good question because you want to make sure that what you're spending your time on is important and it's actually going to get you results. But the answer to this question depends entirely on your particular situation. But it's probably going to be more time than you think because you have to consistently be creating content and really working toward ranking your website. And consistency is more important than anything. So it needs to be a consistent strategy, not just something you do once or twice and say, okay, I'm done with it. This has to be something that you're continually working on. And if you outsource your SEO work, or if you bring on a digital marketing agency like Modern 87 Marketing, you'll spend less than 7 minutes a week on all of your online marketing. So not just your SEO strategy, but by bringing on an agency, you can really reduce the amount of time that you personally have to do to rank your website. But great question. So another common question I hear is, how can I avoid common mistakes that most businesses make with SEO? So the biggest mistake is trying to game the search engines or get too clever with it. So some of the most effective things you can do to improve your rank are the simplest, right? Like creating content to keep your website fresh. Not easy necessarily because finding the time to write great content can be a challenge, but it's simple in terms of the execution. So the other big mistake is thinking too short term, right? Just talked about this. If you try SEO for a month and then give up, you never really tried SEO, right? You have to be realistic in how long it's going to take you to rank for your keywords, okay? So how important is keyword research? It's the most important step here. It's also probably, I think, one of the hardest because you have to get out of business brain and into customer brain. And if you're like me, where you've been doing what you do for a long time, right? I've been doing digital marketing for 7.5 years. So I think like a digital marketer. So doing keyword research can be hard because you have to get outside of the brain, your brain, and into the brain of your customer. But this is the fundamentals of a good search engine optimization strategy. Because if you're trying to rank for keywords, like, okay, let's take the photography example. If you are a wedding photographer in Los Angeles trying to rank for the keyword photography, that's bananas, right? There's nobody in Los Angeles who's wanting a wedding photographer who's just doing the search for photography, right? They're more specific. So picking the right keywords is vital to your success. And if you pick the wrong keywords, it's frustrating and, time consuming, right? Because you're trying to rank for photography, your website's not ranking highly, and nobody's finding you organically because you're trying for the wrong keyword. So keyword research is absolutely vital to your SEO strategy. So how important is link building then, right? So link building is what Google considers, authority of your site. If other people are linking to your website, that's a good indication. So a link from a reputable website can put your business on the map, right? So link building is challenging, and a lot of businesses make the mistake of taking the link exchange route. So they agree with another website to link with each other. But like I said earlier, Google knows when that's happening and it doesn't really help, right? So it's absolutely worthless as an SEO strategy. And they may not punish you for trading links, but they're definitely not going to reward you with higher rankings. So you want to definitely create content that gets shared so those links get created organically. All right, so I love this question. So should I hire an SEO consultant to do all of this for me? So I'm going to be a little biased in my answer here because I do have a digital marketing agency, and I think we do a pretty darn good job at digital marketing. We've been doing it for a really long time. And I think that the most important thing about hiring an SEO consultant or even just a digital marketing strategist to help with social media, email marketing, social advertising, and things like that, is that we have studied this stuff for years, right? We keep up with the Google changes. We keep up with what's actually working and what's not working. And that stuff can be pretty time consuming. And it's something that you just really, as a business owner, shouldn't have to be thinking about. You didn't get into business as a wedding photographer to think about, how am I going to rank my business on Google, right? You got into it because you love photography and you're really darn good at it. So I think the benefit of hiring someone to do all of this for you is that you get to go back to doing what you love. Plus, we're going to get you better results because we know what we're doing, right? We know where to focus our time, effort, and energy so that you're ranking for the right keywords and the content being created is the right content instead of just kind of blindly going at it and wasting all that time and effort, right? So if let's say over the course of a year, if you do this all yourself, you might move up a couple of rankings, just by being more active on your website. But if we work with you for a year, we're going to use the right strategies to really move you up higher. So you'll start to see more organic traffic and you'll get that bigger return on investment. Just my 2 cents on why you should hire someone to do all this stuff for you. So another question is, if I'm redesigning my website, when should I start thinking about SEO? Well, the answer is right now, right? You should think about SEO before during, and after redesigning your website. So if you build your website without SEO taken into account from the very beginning, you're going to be fighting an uphill battle to get your website ranked well. So start thinking about it right now. All right, so what things will get me in trouble with the search engines? All right, this is that black hat deceptive SEO strategies. So anything that is deceptive is going to get you in trouble. So things like, I haven't seen websites do this in a long time. This used to be a big strategy, is using white text on a white background. So there was actually text that would say, you know, wedding photographer Los Angeles. We're the best wedding photographer here in Los Angeles, on a white text on a white background. So visitors couldn't see it, but it was getting seen by Google. So don't do things like that. All right. If you wouldn't be proud to share it with 1 million people that this is how you're getting your website ranked, you probably shouldn't do it. All right. So that same question, if I hire someone, how can I be sure they won't use black hat techniques? So you want to, if you're going to bring on someone, you want to make sure that you ask lots of questions and make sure you're engaged throughout the process, right? It's your reputation that's on the line. So the lady I was talking with yesterday, she's like, I actually have no idea what my my current SEO company is doing for me. And I'm not really sure the strategies that they're using. And so my response was just ask, ask what they're doing every single month, right? When you go ahead and schedule your SEO strategy call with me, a little bit later on, in about 3 minutes, when we talk on the phone, I'm going to share exactly how we're going to get your website ranked and what strategies we're going to use to help you move up the search engines. Okay, I'm not going to be like sneaky about it or talk in code or SEO speak, right? I'm just going to tell you, like, this is how we're going to do it. So if someone isn't upfront with you about that, that's a big red flag that maybe they're not the right agency for you to work with. So how else can you improve your ranking, right? Number one, go to the source. Google wants honest businesses to succeed, and they offer really great advice on how to rank higher, right? Go to Google's Webmaster Guide, and it's going to pretty much tell you what you need to do. Now, if you have the time, energy, or knowledge to implement those strategies, that's a little bit different. But Google will tell you exactly what to do. All right, number two is don't be evil, right? Keep things on the up and up, no white on white text, right? So do things that are white hat, no black hat strategies. Not that you would do that anyways. And it's actually harder to do black hat because it's like sneaky stuff. White hat is the way to go. All right, and you'll also want to track, measure, and tweak. So if you haven't already, be sure to install Google Analytics on your website, nerd out, geek out, and dig into that data to see what it tells you about who's coming to your website and from where. All right, so here's the deal, because I'm all about 100% honesty. SEO is not a silver bullet. To be honest, it can be hard and time consuming, and sometimes results don't come as quickly as you like, but SEO is worth it. The data proves it. People testify to it. And in fact, when small business owners just like you were surveyed, they were asked to pick just one marketing channel, right? So if you had to put your marketing time and budget into only one channel, what would it be? Their answer, SEO, right? It is considered the single most important marketing channel for most small business owners. All right, so if you're overwhelmed, don't be, because you can use SEO to improve your visibility and draw more buyers to your front door, and we're here to help, right? Modern 87 Marketing can help you research the right keywords for your business so you rank for what people are actually searching for. Remember, keyword research is fundamental to your SEO success. So we can help you get the right keywords for your unique business. We can help you update your website's content, right? So this is your on-page SEO. So this is the title of your website, the meta tags, all the, technical stuff that your website needs to run and to get ranked. So we can help update your website's content to reflect your new keywords, the ones that people are actually searching for, so you can rise in the rankings faster. And with that, we can also create weekly SEO-powered blog content that your audience will love and share. And because your audience is going to love and share it, Google's going to love it as well and boost your rankings. We can also get you free press and mentions in articles from quality news sources to increase your website's backlinks. All right, remember, Google loves links, and the more authoritative the sites are that are hosting your links, the more SEO juice you have. We can also, while you are rising through the rankings in Google, we can help you design and implement an online advertising campaign to get you in front of the right customers at the right time when they're looking to buy, as well as help you grow your social media presence and increase your engagement so you can turn your fans into raving loyal customers. So if you're ready to boost your Google rank, get more customers, and make more sales, then I invite you to schedule your complimentary SEO strategy call right now. So all you need to do is go to http://bit.ly/SEO-strategy-call. Okay, and that is going to take you directly to my calendar where you can schedule your call. All right, so be sure to do that right now. So this call is for you if you're ready to dominate your local search rankings without spending hours every day researching and creating content. Right? This is for you if you want to grow your business, get more customers, and make more sales with a comprehensive online marketing strategy. If you want to get the most out of your marketing budget so you can expand your brand and increase your authority in your industry, we need to get on the phone, all right? And if you want to save time, money, and energy by bringing in a professional marketing team to help you create and implement a killer marketing strategy, then I want to talk with you today about how Modern 87 Marketing can help you do that. Plus, I'm also going to give you actual strategies that you can use for your website to start ranking higher. So this call is going to absolutely be worth your time. So go ahead and click the button down below to schedule your call, or you can go to bit.ly/SEO-strategy-call. But there are limited spots available. I've only opened up 5 call spots. Once they're gone, they're gone. I'm going to close down my calendar. So go ahead and click the button below to claim your call time right now, or you can go to bit.ly/SEO-strategy-call, and that will take you directly to my calendar where you can schedule your call. So I know that we went over a lot of questions already, but if you do have an additional question, I want to make sure that I answer that for you. So I'm going to be sticking around for just a few more minutes to answer some of your questions in the comments. So I just want to thank you so much for joining us today. So if you haven't already, go ahead and claim one of the 5 available calls by either clicking the button below or going to bit.ly/SEO-strategy-call. And thank you so much for joining me today. You can find Modern 87 Marketing at facebook.com/modern87. So that's facebook.com/modern87. Let's go ahead and connect there. And I'd love to hear your thoughts about the training today. So thank you so much. I'm Stacey Cream. I'm the founder and thinker-in-chief at Modern 87 Marketing. And I hope that today's webinar gave you some practical strategies that you can start implementing right away to increase your rankings on Google. If I had to distill this down to just one strategy, I would say look at your keywords. make sure that you are trying to rank for what people are actually searching for when they're looking for your business. All right, so thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope to see you on the next training. All right, have a great afternoon.